The time has come to lift the veil of secrecy and let the truth emerge so there can be a real and informed debate about one of the most important problems facing our planet today.
So how do people respond to Dan Aykroyd when he talks to them on a personal level about UFOs?
You know what? It's interesting. When I talk to people, well, first of all, people ask me about it. They come to me and they say, oh, well, you know, we saw an interview, we heard an interview, they heard the thing on Art Bell that we did. They come to me and ask me about it. So it's not like I have to go out there and crusade and say, hey, did you hear about the latest Mexican case? They've seen CNN, they've seen Fox, they've seen the Daily News. They come to me and ask me about it, and I basically lay out, you know, my thoughts on it. I'd say half the people that I speak to about this have either seen themselves, heard about it from a credible witness, or are willing to accept. The other half, totally not. Harold Ramis, my good friend and collaborator, does not believe, will not accept until, you know, hard proof is presented to him in the form of, you know, something tangible. And what I've been able to do is just open people's minds a little bit and let them think about it. And of course, the greatest proof are the kinds of tapes that now exist, the kind of videos that exist. Usually, when I show some tape of some different things that have been exposed to me, well, it's pretty convincing. And then at that point, people have to go away and accept that, you know, that these things are a part of our reality. Well, what I'd like to, you know, what we'd all like to affect is some positive change in the world and try to help the tipping point where good tips to overflow evil in the world. I mean, you know, we know there's good and bad out there, yin yang, black, white, you know, there are you know, there's tremendous divisiveness in the planet, and, you know, perhaps this study and this understanding of things that are greater than we have accomplished technologically will lead us to a spiritual awakening, one that helps us respect other beings out there in the universe and other dimensions, and also in our own 4 dimensions and here in the physical world that we live in. The sacredness of human life, the willingness to get along a little better, to relinquish materialism and territoriality in favor of a more comprehensive worldview, in which we unite and we all feel the energy within us as part of a universal light.
Gotta thank you, Dan, so much for this interview. I'm very grateful. I really believe you're one of the greatest minds in our world at this time. Thank you so much.
sightings could be explained through conventional means, but many of the sightings were unexplained.
From Dan Aykroyd, a recognized authority on UFOs.
People spoke about this urge they had to go out at 3 in the morning and look up into the sky.
3 amber orbs now at a distance far west on the horizon.
Strategic Air Command went on alert, DEFCON 3, which means that our nuclear forces were ready.
I think half of the American people, with the proper evidence, would be ready to accept.
Probably moved 100 miles in a matter of a second.
It was a metallic disc, and that's when I realized all 3 of us were looking at something extraordinary.
5 unidentified objects were picked up on radar coming in over the Pacific Northwest.
12,000 people shared these mass sightings.
Looks like you got an object right in front of you, Mark. Are you looking out there?
There should be no debate anymore. UFOs exist.
Challenging the misconceptions.
They photographed 11 unidentified objects.
Discovering the realities.
They were hovering for minutes.
Of what may be.
Massive, miles high.
The most important question.
The incident almost ignited a nuclear war.
Facing human civilization today. An authoritative inquiry into the UFO phenomenon.
We are dealing with beings who have advanced technology on us.
Probe the mind of Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd Unplugged on UFOs.